How impressed have you been of him, Phil, today? And not just today, in fact, the fact that he's had to step up in a crucial period of time for Manchester United. And is he the sort of talent that you can see that United can build around in the future?
Yeah, he certainly is. He's a player that's obviously playing beyond his years. He's an exceptional talent, and as Eric said there, he can do everything. You know, the modern day midfielder needs to be able to get up and down the pitch, intercept, score goals, and this young man's doing all that, and that's why he finds himself in the side. And I think he's got a huge future ahead of him, and he's certainly a huge part of what Eric's trying to build. And especially since he's come into the team, he's, you know, as Danny spoke about before, young players coming through the academy. It's always a great feeling as a fan to see that happen. We know how much work goes into development of the players in the youth system, and for him to reward that with playing in the first team and playing to the levels that he is, he's certainly a superstar, and one that we'll be building a team around in the future.
And it's quite hard coming off this game, really, because it's mixed results at the end of the day, mixed feelings at least. It's a win for Manchester United, but as mentioned there, they did let goals back in as well. They weren't as comfortable as what we hoped they would be based on that first half performance. There will be positives, then there will be negatives here, Danny, but moving forward, is it more positives than negatives today, you think? And let's take away the entertainment value that we just witnessed.
Yeah, Michelle, 100%. I think you look at the first half. Listen, Wolves, like you said, Wolves have been, you know, in top form. I think we mentioned before, I think it was seven games unbeaten. I think there was 8 unbeaten at home. So they've been very good. Gary Neal's, you know, he's built a very good team in good form. So United, you know, to go there, go away from home, a night game, to play the way they did in the first half, you know, was fantastic. And as Phil will say, you know, 2-0 at half time is actually quite a dangerous scoreline. You know, and you know, the 2-1 and a penalty, you know, it shouldn't have been a penalty. And once that does happen, you know, it is difficult. The fans, the Wolves are at home, and the fans go up for it. But I think then, you know, towards the end, I think the positives were, you know, when you have a setback and you're disappointed, to still end up winning the game when you know, from 2-0 up to 3-3 to then win the game away from home, I think is massive positives in the group and the character.
Is Ten Hag football slowly coming together? Are we seeing that just a little bit more? Because even just let's have a reference point of Rasmus Højlund first and foremost. The biggest talking point this season on him was that they weren't giving him the service, which is why he's unable to get those goals. He's getting just a little bit more now. He looks like he's a little bit more in tune with the rest of the team, and the team looks a little bit more in tune to him, Danny.
Yeah, look, I think he's mentioned many times, hasn't he? You know, he's not had the players. You know, there's a lot of injuries to work on what he wants to work on. You know, day in, day out. You know, so Phil, as Phil knows, you know, he's, you know, with Macclesfield, you know, he's coaching now. You need time on the pitch with the players that are fit every day. And you know, when you haven't got that, you know, we mentioned earlier, you know, your Luke Shaw's, your Martinez. You know, these are two. You know, you want to play out from the back, and you got Martinez who's left-footed playing left centre back. Luke Shaw's now playing left back with his left foot. You know, previously you've got right-footed fullbacks playing left back, Dalot, Wan-Bissaka, and you know, when all these patterns of play that you work on, he's now able to do with these players, with his strongest team coming back into the team. And I think we've been wanting goals from Man United. We've not been getting them, and I think tonight we've seen, like I said, with fullbacks overlapping, the connections, the partnerships, and that's what it's all about. And I think in the middle, you're seeing a partnership possibly developing in a young player in Kobbie Mainoo, you know, and an experienced world-class player like Casemiro. So I think you're starting to see, you know, relationships, and hopefully that will continue.
Are we starting to see it, Phil? And there's this, based on today's performance, right? And we see most of the sort of preferred first 11 back fit. Does it give you a bit more hope for Manchester United in terms of their European spots? They're 2 spots off European places at the moment, but in terms of points, it is slightly further away because Aston Villa in that 5th spot is 43 points and Manchester United 35.
Yeah, it's certainly not good for my health, Michelle. I know that, watching that second half. it was first half. I think United were clear dominant. Wolves couldn't get anywhere near them. The gap for Wolves was huge, and United penetrated them down the sides, in behind, and like we said, we could have gone in 3 or 4-0 up. And like Danny said, it's always a dangerous score, 2-0, and we've seen second half. Wolves come out a completely different side. Miles more energy, and they managed to get the soft penalty, and them decisions in a game turn games. And obviously they built momentum on that. It was Wolves that were in the ascendancy in midway through the second half, and it was great. It was great on their behalf for them to get back into the game. It was disappointing from Man United's point of view to concede the way they did. But overall, I think from United's performance, I think it was a decent performance. And it's certainly something they can build on going forward.